So I'm Akshay,
Right now you're working as a magician.
working as a magician and a data analyst.
Yep. And then also
A nanny, male nanny.
a manny.
A male nanny, yeah.
That's an interesting one.
A lot of people think that it's a bit weird. Why do you do it? What do you get from it? And to that, I just feel like,
How did you first get into magic? You said you've been doing it for since you're a young kid, right?
yeah, since year 5, from a young age, most of my friends have been girls. And one of the girls that I fancied in school, we had show and tell. So she brought in 2 tickets to Darren Brown. She was like just buzzing about it. And that day I was like, okay, let me go home, let me learn a magic trick. I spent 6 months perfecting this trick, like over and over. And then the next school year, I went up to her in the playground, I'm like, oh, hey, how was your summer? I've learned this really cool card trick. Taking the cards out, she just walked away. So that's how I got into magic. So
You said you're going to try and do some tricks.
yeah, I'd love to show you some stuff if that's okay. This is one we're thinking of taking Notting Hill. Think of what you want the most in life. Were you good? It wasn't a playing card.
No.
Oh. Was it one for you, one for me? No. I'm joking. Can you imagine that in Notting Hill Carnival?
You said you're going
behind your back.
behind my back.
Giving it a little bit, yeah.
As in, can I look at it?
Yeah, you can look at it. Let's make sure it's like a normal Rubik's Cube. And while you're doing that, I'm going to set this here.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen?
You're going to make that be the exact same as it.
Have that sitting in front of
Yeah.
the time. And obviously you can show them the wide angle.
Yeah.
But if we have a look. Oh. We've got one side. Wait, but if we move it to this side.
Love, bro.
so
Really,
much
really
having me on
appreciate it. Nah, smashed it.
Thank you.
Okay. Do that Rubik's Cube shit again. Can you do it again? Welcome everyone to another episode of the Unfiltered podcast, where we take the eye out of unfiltered and put the emphasis directly on you. This is the one platform where we get to take down our filters and have raw, authentic and vulnerable conversations in regards to the challenges that we're all facing today. Now, if you're a fan of the unfiltered nature of this podcast and you want more of these conversations that I have on the show to be normalized, why don't you help me help you? To get more guests on and to have those difficult conversations in regards to the challenges we're all facing, I have to know what it is that you specifically want us to speak about. So if it isn't too much to ask, why don't you hit that subscribe button right now? And at the end of the episode, if it's been a hit for you, why don't you leave a thumbs up and leave a cheeky review in regards to what specifically resonates with you. Now, with that all being said and done, let's get straight back into the episode. What's your backstory, man? Let everyone know who you are. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I'm Akshay. Born and raised in Kenya.
Yep.
Well, I was born in India, moved very young to Kenya, and I moved to the UK when I was 10.
Yep.
Parents just thought it was a better fit for education, the rest of it. School, uni, did accounting and finance, hated it. Got into magic in a very young age. And yeah, I think like in a nutshell, that's it. But obviously a lot more tangents to that story.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So right now you're working as a magician.
working as a magician and a data analyst.
Yep. And then also
A nanny,
yeah,
male nanny,
a manny.
a male nanny. Yeah.
That's an interesting one. Let's get straight into that. When you first said it to me, a manny, I was like, I'm sure he means male nanny, but all right.
Yeah, you
I'll
got
let,
to check.
I'll let him run with it because I don't
Things,
know. What's the biggest misconception people have had about men working in childcare?
A lot of people think that it's a bit weird. Why do you do it? What do you get from it? You don't need the money. Essentially, why are you doing it? And to that, I just feel like, one, it's a really good. It's very calming for me. I'm really good with kids, and two, I also think that the misconception of a maternal instinct is often like overshadowed. Like, why should it be dictated by your sex?
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest misconception. When I started it, my parents were like, "Well, why are you doing this?" And the way I got into it, I just find when I'm bored, I'm not very productive, and I end up either sleeping, snacking, just doing things that don't add any value, just out of boredom. And so I try to keep myself as busy as possible, as you probably know. And that's where it kind of spawned out of.
Fair. It's weird you say that because, like, you know, I told you, like, I got like a niece and nephew. I'm very like quite close to. I love being Uncle Pre for them.
Cool.
You know, I even like with my younger cousins who are like 15 years younger than me, 20 years younger than me, play like an uncle role for them.
Of course.
And it's weird when you say that because it's like when you think about it from like say like a babysitter perspective, they probably will only go to the woman in the family. My sister might babysit, or my niece and nephews, their aunts will babysit, not me.
Yeah,
And it's interesting because like I have a great vibe with these kids.
exactly.
Do you feel like, I'm going jumping straight into this right now, do you feel like it's looked bad for men to jump in this space?
Yeah, I think the narrative, especially in terms of like the dating atmosphere and the dating space, is men need to be men and women want to be in their feminine energy. And I think it's a very feminine thing. If you think about a nanny, the connotations are very feminine. And so people are like, if you're doing it, you're not like a man's man. And, you know, I have so many people in my own family, cousins, that are so good with kids, but almost downplay it because, like, oh no, I'm cool, I'm hard. Like they don't want that relation or portrayal of their own image. Because they want to be like cool and want to downplay that side of things. No, I think, you know, there's so many things I've got from nannying that kind of the trust that a family shows you.
So what is it that you're doing with these kids? Like, is it just a couple of hours of babysitting, or is it?
I work with a lot of kids that have learning difficulties, so dyslexia, autism, and some of them, you know, they just go to ordinary school and they do their normal work, but to keep up with the pace of and the curriculum, they need that extra bit of help. So sometimes it's a bit of tutoring, sometimes it is just allowing the parents to have a bit of date night or like their own time. Because, you know, a quote I heard a few weeks ago, it said, whatever you're going through, someone else out there in the world is going through the same thing, but with kids. And I was like, you know what? That's so true. And if I can give a family 1 or 2 hours a week where they can just relax and they don't have, you know, it's mostly the mum that is trying to juggle a job and the kitchen and the kid. If I can give her a break for 1 or 2 hours a week, like, why wouldn't I? It's not even about the money. Recently, a family I'm taking care of and working with, the mum, unfortunately, has been diagnosed with cancer. And, you know, it's one of those things, they trust me so much, and she's had to go back and forth with hospital appointments. But because she has that trust and relationship with me, they can just say, okay, do you mind just popping over? We need to dip. It's going to be an hour, 2 hours top. No worries, no stress. Because it's not just a stranger, it's almost like you're part of their family. And obviously you build that over time. But I think it's a privilege that I've been given. I started it 3 years ago.
Did you have to do like any qualifications for it?
You needed like a DBS check, make sure like you're not dodgy. But apart from that, no. As long as you get on with the family, like I have had a trial with families that it's just not been a very good fit. The kids are really spoiled, or like they don't take well to another assertive personality that's not their parents. And if I don't think I can add value to a family, I just won't do it. I'm not doing it for the money, right? So yeah, and it also brings me a lot of like calm and peace, and I think that's
interesting.
A lot for me as well.
That's interesting. Have you talked about it like from a dating perspective, but like generally, have you ever faced like judgment or weird looks from being a male nanny?
I don't really bring it up, to be honest. It's one of those things when someone dates me, after a few weeks or few months, it will come into like, oh, what are you up to this week? Oh, I'm nannying here and there, and it will come up in conversation. But it's not something I necessarily bring up.
How's that?
It's just not like I do so many other things. It's just another thing about my personality. If it comes up organically, sure. Like it's just something it doesn't define me.
Are you single right now?
Yeah, incredibly single. Maybe I need to do on my profile, male nanny.
Honestly, bro, it makes so much more sense. It makes so much more sense. I highly encourage it.
Yeah, maybe I need to throw that out there.
Yeah, but no, mate, I would let people know, because it's a distinguishing factor about you. And like, if people are finding out later down the line that, hang on a minute, you do this, and they're uncomfortable with it, or they think you're a bit weird for it, respectfully, they're probably not your ideal person to like.
Absolutely, no, I totally agree. I mean, I've been very lucky where the women I've dated actually find it really endearing, and they can see it, like, you know, in their future if they want kids. That's somewhere it's a way I can contribute. You know, obviously, like the whole kind of conversation around feminism, we're empowering women to go work, have kids, but if we're not also splitting the domestic labor,
Yeah.
like what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I really strongly believe, like, once you get married, the one thing you can't do is carry a kid.
Yeah.
But you can look after a kid, you can cook, you can clean, and if you're not bringing your 50% and showing up to your relationship, I think that's, for me, it's not a situation that would serve me. And I'm very straight up, like in terms of dating, I'm like, we're a team. Like, so yeah, no, I'm not shy about putting it out there. So maybe I will put it on my profile.
Might get a couple of extra likes. I don't know.
Absolutely, who knows?
It's interesting because like, as soon as I started like putting like I coach, and then people are like, oh, so you do a podcast? I'm like, yeah, send them an episode. That's actually quite nuts that you do that, and it's like, yeah, it's just me. Like, and then all of a sudden it then creates like that possible I wouldn't say call it like shyness, but that filter of who I really am. I've just dropped that down completely, and now they get to see me for like what it is I really do. Like the kind of conversations I'm kind of having, the way I speak, the way I look, and sometimes I ain't looking like I've had a fresh trim. It's a bit, but I'm there on camera and I'm putting it out there. And so that then creates like a very, very different dynamic because there's a lot of realness associated to that. Versus...
And what's the feedback you've got in terms of dating and saying you do coaching and your podcast?
Yeah, as in it's interesting because it's like, I think a lot of people nowadays, I feel a lot of people think it's quite wonderful I'm doing something in this space. Especially when I say like I work with women and I help them through like insecurities, self-doubt. I am trying to trans shift, that's the word to use?
Sure. Well, it's a word now.
Yeah, it's a word now. Yeah. I'm trying to transition. There you go. Might edit that back in. Transition into working with like men as well, because I just done a men's speaking event and served a number of people, which was excellent. But like, as soon as you say it and you talk about like say the conversations you have and how you're able to hold space and all that, it really hits home. And it's like, why am I trying to like hide away my skill set that I have? It makes up who I am at times, and it's also like another side of me. So let me just show you that off the cuff.
And you're right, yeah. If someone isn't vibing with that, or
what's the point?
Yeah.
If they want
why
someone,
waste your time and their time?
If they want someone who's working 9 to 5 or 9 to 9, corporate, no time for themselves, no time for self-care, no time for their own improvement. If they just want money, a nice lifestyle, all of that, I'm probably not the right person to be speaking to, because I'm very much put myself first and try and help as many people as I can.
Absolutely.
So if that doesn't fit with you, and I feel like by saying it the way I have, and I've learned to just be a bit more comfortable and back myself, vibes a lot well.
Good.
Like people like it. You mentioned you're a magician.
Yeah.
That was our initial connection. How did you first get into magic? You said you've been doing it for since you're a young kid, right?
Yeah, since year 5. So coming into this country with a thick African accent, don't ask me to do it.
Yeah,
I will get cancelled for that. Yeah, so I didn't really have a lot of friends as a kid. I did in Africa. I went from being one of the most popular kids in school out there to coming here with barely no mates, right? I also think that's fed a lot into my personality in terms of the friendships I've had. Because in school, you know, like boys banter, bully, like that sort of vibe, where girls are a lot kinder, a lot nicer. So from a young age, most of my friends have been girls, and one of the girls that I fancied in school, we had show and tell. Did you have like show and tell? So she brought in like 2 tickets to Darren Brown, and she was like just buzzing about it. And like that day, I was like, okay, let me go home. Like, let me learn a magic trick, and then like that's gonna be my in, right?
Yeah.
Even though she had friends over me like months ago. So I spent 6 months perfecting this trick, like over and over. And then the next school year, because it was summer holidays, the next school year started, and I went up to her in the playground, like, oh hey, how was your summer? And she transitioned into the cool kids over the summer. So I was like, oh, you know, like show and tell, like you brought the tickets to that mentalist or magician, I said. And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I've learned this really cool card trick. And then while I was taking the cards out, she just walked away. So that's how I got into magic.
Fair.
And to be fair, you know, like it's something I've really enjoyed building over the years.
Yeah.
It's a lot cooler now than it used to be perceived to be. And, you know, even with the agency, Maverick Magicians, we're trying to make magic cool again.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the corporates that hire us, this is what you'll get. You'll get like hoodie, a leather jacket instead of like a 3-piece suit. Because it's just a different angle. We're trying to make it, it's not this geeky, nerdy thing.
Yeah.
And maybe that stemmed off that year 5 rejection. And
I
I'm
don't
like
know.
channeling it into
That's
the
crazy.
magic.
I used to love magic growing up.
Oh, no way.
So I didn't tell you this.
No, you haven't.
Downstairs, I should have probably had that conversation with you. When I was a kid, we used to do like little shows for like Christmas time when all the family was together. Or I can't remember what it was, but I'd get a box of like magic.
Oh, yeah. Marvel's
Toys.
Magic, probably.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was one where it's funny. It's like, I think it's 3 cups and you got to turn them over and they all go facing down. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, everyone ready? Okay, cool, sweet. And you just reverse the cup and they can never do it. You're like, what the hell have you done? I'm like, play with your head.
You know what? I might send you this clip, and it is one of the first times I've done magic for my family. We all went to Dubai, like for my granddad's 80th or something. And there's this clip where you'll probably remember the trick at home where you take a napkin and you put it over a glass and you go 1, 2, and then you just drop it into your lap and then you smash the napkin and the glass disappears.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have that video, and I was you just hear, I go 1, 2, and I kid you not, you just hear it crash.
Yeah, that's. I did the exact same thing.
Awkward.
I did the exact same with newspaper,
bro.
And all you just
turned around. Yeah, there's like a boat, pin drop. There was musicians. Everyone was like chatting. It was busy, right?
Yeah.
Pin drop silent. Like the musicians stopped playing. Everyone on the boat, like my family, guests, just look at me. I'm like, my bad.
I did the same thing. Newspaper, 1, 2, meant to fall into my lap, and I'm sitting down on my knees, right? And it's bounced and then just fall out. And I've done this already, and I'm like, ta-da, and they're like,
bro. Hey, at least you finished the trick.
Nah,
I was just too mortified.
So funny. Okay, cool. So that's how you got into
magic. Yeah.
What's the hardest job in regards to magic that no one talks about?
In terms of magic, it's everything behind the scenes. A lot of people aren't very aware of what it takes. So you give a quote to a client and they can understand you're not paying for the time, you're paying for the skill, right? It's all those years. So with a singer, with a band, with a DJ, you know what you're getting. You know what the average market rate is.
You're getting the performance.
You're getting the performance. And with a magician, some of it is education.
Yeah.
And some of it is, look, whether you hire me or not, I don't care. Like, I get enough work.
Yeah.
But if you do hire me, you're going to have a sick time. Like, your guests are going to have an epic time. And they'll be talking about it for years to come. What's the last band you saw at a wedding? Can you name the band?
No.
You named off the cuff one of our boys.
Yeah, South.
Shout out South Thefty, great magician. And he
lives rent free in my head.
Exactly. And it's one of those things. Once you see it, you understand the value.
I know you will as well, based on these tricks.
100%.
Yeah. I literally It's crazy. Fair play.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's like. It's that backlash in regards to like people understanding what it is. It's the same with coaching, to be honest. Like, people don't understand like the service you're trying to provide.
It's a perceived value unless you talk to them, and you even downstairs you were telling me about what I do in my business, and you got me thinking about so many things that I would not even have thought about. And you know, it's the perceived value. Yeah. You know, it's people look at that price tag and they're like, wait, what?
What am I getting for it?
What am I getting for it?
Yeah.
And then they start to, when you start to educate them and they start to understand that, oh, wait, you know what? You're charging way too little.
Yeah.
I've had clients later being like, is that it? Do you know what we're paying the DJ? I'm like, I don't care what you're paying the DJ.
Yeah. Well, you should care, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
So I had to ask this question. Have you ever performed a trick and it's completely backfired in front of a big audience?
Yeah.
How did you handle it?
The way I do my magic is I don't take myself too seriously.
Yeah.
Like, you know me, if someone asks me, oh, is this how this trick is done? I'll tell them, like, yeah, you got it bang on, like, don't tell anyone. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's what you did to me downstairs.
Yeah, like, I don't mind because magic it's a skill.
Yeah.
It's a bit of fun. It's meant to get you relaxed.
So you fucked with me when we were talking about it, yeah? This whole time you're like...
It's gaslighting you.
It's an illusion. No, it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't mind, like, having a bit of fun with it. So this happened in the middle of a set with 20 people. And because I already won them over with the first few tricks, like, I was like, oh, no, you guys actually... You guys are quick. Like, I'll be honest, that didn't work. Now, I can walk away, or or you guys can see one more thing.
Yeah.
I've left the best till last. Like, it's up to you guys. And then I just absolutely messed with them with the last trick. So it didn't work. Had a bit of a laugh, and then left them. Like, they didn't even remember
What
the bit in the
happened,
middle.
yeah. They're just amazed.
They're just
What
amazed by the
happened.
last trick. Yeah, exactly.
What's the most insane reaction then you've got from someone after performing the trick?
So the best reactions are when people either had a drink or they just chilled.
Yeah.
Corporates are quite difficult because people are in a working energy, and that's what we're brought in for.
Yeah.
We're like, we want people to be relaxed, people to chill. So yeah, I think the funniest and greatest reactions have just been at birthday parties, and you get them every week because I've been doing this over 15 years.
Yeah.
It's at a point now, like, it's muscle memory. It's all about the performance now.
Yeah.
Like you say with Sav.
Yeah.
You
It's
know
so
he's
smooth.
doing something. It's so smooth because he's done thousands and thousands of performances.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even have to think about the magic. He just needs to make sure you're having a good time.
Mm.
So if he looks at a crowd of 10 people and someone's like disassociating, like they're just getting a bit bored,
Yeah.
he'll make sure to bring them in for the next one.
Yeah.
Because the magic is, it's what do you call it? It's helping achieve that entertainment.
I get you.
Like that reaction.
I remember I watched a number of videos when Sam, I think he used to go to Carnival.
Okay, yeah, Notting Hill.
Yeah, and record it while he and the reactions.
Oh, crazy.
People run it.
Crazy.
What that? Nah.
Yeah.
And he's done to like a few celebrities as well. While mate, it's so funny. The reactions make it so much more funnier watching it because it's like, I don't know if he's fucked with their head or not. He's playing with their emotions.
Notting Hill Carnival, like people are licked anyway. Like
licked, high, whatever you want to be. There, it's a great vibe.
Such a good time. So we're thinking of taking 10 of our boys.
Yeah.
And just like normal clothes.
Yeah.
We're not even gonna have parks of cars. We're gonna do stuff like twisting their bottle or like there's another trick I do. And you know what, if you want to crop this out. Like, but it's a funny little for the camera trick. Wait, let's see if I have it on me. Because this will get a nice.
I've clocked as well. Like, do magicians have a lot of pockets?
Loads of pockets. this jacket probably has over 20 pockets. Okay.
Is it an actual magician's jacket?
It's just a leather
Just
jacket.
Just 20 pockets.
Like, do you want me to get you one? Just also it's 500 quid. Right. So this is one we're thinking of taking Notting Hill Carnival this year. Think of what you want the most in life.
Okay.
Have you got it in your mind?
Yeah.
Were you think of? Oh, it wasn't a playing card.
No.
Oh. Was it one for you, one for me? No. I'm joking. Can you imagine that in Notting Hill Carnival? That would be
Fucking hell.
people will be losing their heads. I've done that in a club
That's
once, and
too
bouncer
funny.
like, wait, what was that?
You tell him, nah, it's sugar, it's sugar.
It's salt.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
So we're preparing a lot of stuff in Notting Hill Carnival this year.
Yeah.
And we want to get some great reactions. Yeah,
Fair play.
absolutely.
Do you ever feel boxed as just being a magician then?
It's funny because, especially with the South Asian community,
Yeah.
they think, I don't know if you get this as another creative, they're like, oh, magician, so why? My uncle tells me this pretty much on a weekly basis. He's like, okay, when you get married, like you can't do this magician thing anymore. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, why not? And he's like, oh, well, your wife will be at home and like you'll be out till all hours of the night. I'm like, no, like that's not what I do. I'm not in a club till 5 a.m. I go do my 2-hour set. Most of the time, the like venue or the birthday party, they're like, come, stay, have a drink with us, chill. Even festivals and stuff, they give you free accommodation, free flights. It's a really good lifestyle, to be honest. And like, I will have, hopefully, I'll be with someone that also has a similar lifestyle and also wants to be a part of that lifestyle. Now, if I'm with an introvert that doesn't enjoy being around people or doesn't enjoy that side of things, then that's a different conversation. But I know what I'm looking for in terms of dating. And it's very much along the lines of I want someone that is quite similar, someone that is extroverted, someone that enjoys being around people, seeing new places. Like one of our boys from Mavericks got taken away to taken away. He went away to the Maldives to do a luxury island.
Yeah.
Only 10 villas on this whole island.
Yeah.
And he was given a villa to stay in and free food, free accommodation, free flights. And if you were to pay for a week to go to this island,
Yeah.
you're paying 200k for a week holiday. Like, I'm never going to pay, even if I'm a billionaire, I'm not paying that kind of money.
Yeah.
So we get to experience so many different things that I just think it's worth the trade-off.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I was going to, like, you just answered it. I was going to say, how do you break past that label? And I suppose it's just looking at the bigger picture then and understanding what's possible. And kind of like what you said right there in regards to, like, I know we're dibble-dabbling within dating. We're trying
Of course,
we'll stick it towards the end. But you mentioned, like, you kind of want someone who's going to, like, complement that.
Sure, yeah.
And be on board in regards to what you're doing. Likewise, you would be on board in regards to whatever they're doing.
Exactly.
I feel like that kind of gets, like, that older generation probably can't glue into that because they're stuck within the lifestyle of what a man should do and what a woman should do, and they probably haven't got past that. But
I mean, did you ever get it, like, you know, with both being corporate sellouts, like when you're working at home, and COVID did change a lot of things.
Yeah.
Did you ever get your parents to be like, why are you working past 5? Like, why have you not clocked out yet? Like, why can you not come down for lunch? Mom, I've got a meeting. Oh, here's some fruit. Mom, I'm in a meeting. Like, you know, it's lovely. The gesture's so sweet. But it's the understanding that the working world has changed so much from when they were doing it. There's some things that they don't understand, like the hustle as well. Like, you can't live in London and have one job. Like, and live the lifestyle that I want to live.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, my dad has been self-employed for, I don't know how many years now, maybe 15 plus years.
Yeah.
And to live the lifestyle he lives, to be able to, like, golf whenever he wants, and like to be able to, like, just sit and watch TV throughout the day, and that he's up at 5 and he'll go straight downstairs, open up the laptop, knock stuff out. Yeah. Just because it's got to be done, kind of thing. If he wants to be out in the evening and not stress the next morning, work needs to be done. And likewise with me, I'm like, well, I've got clients, I've got to work till like 9, 10 o'clock because that's when they're available. Yeah. They're not available first thing in the morning. So, and if they are,
I mean, you've had the privilege of having a parent that has hustled and done the grind in a different way. Yeah. Whereas, you know, my parents have had traditional white collar jobs. Yeah. You know, dad's a pharmacist, mum's a counsellor, so it's very set timings. Yeah. And so when they're like, oh, you know, can we hop on to family dinner and at this time, I'm like, we can, but can we push it back an hour? And like, why can't you just do this time? I'm like,
well, I've had to say the same thing. I was like, you lot crack on.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'll just join a bit later, or you know, I can't make this time. But yeah, I think the world's changed a lot in the last 10 years, and yeah, I'm here for it.
Fair play.
Yeah.
You said you're going to try and do some tricks.
Yeah, I'd love to show you some stuff if that's okay.
Yeah.
If we start with something a bit of psychology.
I can't believe you got the things out.
Huh? Yeah, hey, if you need to edit that out, that's fine. All right, I mean, everyone probably knows what this is.
Rubik's Cube, yeah.
Do you mind just putting it behind your back?
Behind my back?
Giving it a little mix, yeah.
And then can I look at it?
Yeah, you can look at it.
I can look at it first and then do it, yeah?
Yeah, so have a look, make sure it's like a normal Rubik's Cube. And while you're doing that, I'm going to set this here. Make sure I don't touch that.
You shouldn't have given me this song. I probably want to try and play with it, but all right, fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, cool.
You happy? Do you want to do some more behind? Yeah, go for it. We'll really make it random.
Anyhow, you fucking.
I love that you were like checking, like, is it a normal cube?
Yeah,
like,
obviously.
check all those things.
I've seen this before. Like, we're gone.
You happy?
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen?
You're going to make that be the exact same as this.
All right. You don't think it's solved?
It's not solved.
No, it's not solved. All right. Bring it out.
Okay, cool.
All right. I want you to pick a number between 1 and 5.
1 and 5. Can I look at this still while I do it? Yeah.
What number do you want?
4.
4. Can you make 4 more moves?
4 more moves?
Yeah. For example.
Does it have to be, can I make it the same move?
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, 1, 2.
It's whatever feels right. 3.
3. 4.
You're happy with that?
Yeah. I fucked it up.
No,
I think I have.
No, I'm joking.
I think I have.
So you mix this up.
Yeah.
I've had that sitting in front of like the whole time. And obviously, you know, you can show them the wide angle.
Yeah.
But if we have a look, we've got one side. that's kind of crazy. But if we move it to this side, we do the next side. Hopefully.
No, bro, I messed up purposely, but that wasn't there beforehand. Nah, that wasn't there. I didn't have that there earlier.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all 6 sides. I'll leave that in front there, and you can watch that clip over. You mixed it up.
Yeah, but I know when I gave it to you, I looked at that orange and that orange wasn't there.
So now you're already influenced and thinking a certain way. I'm gonna try. Yeah, let's try.
Oh.
Okay, I want you to be very honest about this. We haven't set this up yet.
Okay, yeah, no, nothing's up.
All right, cool. I want you to think of a bunch of colors in your head. Now you've seen a Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
You can make them the colors you've seen on the cube.
Nope. Yeah.
You can be specific.
Okay.
Some people went with like sky blue, so whatever you want.
Yep.
Let's try. We're gonna play a bit of word association. All right, you take my phone.
Yep.
And you can show the camera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on notes, and I want you to type in a color. Let's start with a color. So just
The one I got in my head.
the one you got in your head. Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? Delete that.
Okay.
Can you change a different color?
Do I have to?
I would prefer if you did. Yeah.
I don't want to. All right, fine.
Go with it.
Okay.
Go. Hit enter. Go on the next line.
Yep.
And can you think of a song that this color reminds you of?
Okay. Yeah.
You got one?
Yeah.
Think of. You got a song.
Yep.
Go on the next line. Think of an animal that the song reminds you of.
An animal it reminds me of.
Yeah. Go random. Go as random as you can.
Oh man, this is okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And for the fourth one, go on the next line, and can you type in either celebrity or a person you know that animal reminds you of?
The animal reminds me of.
Yeah. So we're doing word association, right? So
The animal reminds me of.
either celebrity or yeah. Your face is a joke. This is going to be great.
I ain't got a fucking clue. Okay. Okay, fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull out a card and do me a favor. You can put the phone down next to you so we'll confirm the results of that.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of pens here.
Yeah.
Can you just look at these?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so your color is one of these.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just try and don't try and avoid it because that makes it quite obvious. I know it's an orange or purple.
But you think?
Okay, so it's purple. Great. Okay, so that's a good start. All right. Well, I mean that's a decent start. I want you to just think of your animal.
Yeah.
Imagine your animal is somewhere in this room.
Yeah.
I just got really concerned.
Yeah.
It's a relatively big. It's not like a hamster or a rat or like a small animal. It's a relatively big.
Yeah.
Animal, right?
Yeah.
Is it a water? Is that why you're concerned? Is it a water based? I don't know. Purple and okay, interesting.
This is so weird.
And can you think of the celebrity? And just think of like, oh, it is a celebrity. Great. Look at me. Think of why you thought that celebrity.
Yeah.
And think of why the celebrity is famous. And look at me. Oh, this is like, is this a celebrity from your childhood?
You can argue that.
Let's say. Oh, is it it's someone in acting or singing? It's actor. It's actor.
Yeah.
Just.
I went too early there. I went too early. Yeah.
I mean, the clues have been great.
Yeah.
Think of whatever this actor reminds you of, and look at me. And just think of you think of something recent that they've done, but I want you to think like go older. That's a. Did you watch a lot of movies as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, the movie I'm not sure, but I think was the actor Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. What just for shits and giggles? Like, what was the movie that you thought of?
As in that relates to all of this, the word association.
Just the movie that you thought this actor like you were thinking of a movie, right?
Ace Ventura.
Oh no, for whatever reason I went for The Mask, but was it Dolphin as well? That you
Yeah.
thought of?
The Mask was like when you said purple.
Yeah.
Purple came up. I don't know why purple came up with, and I associate with The Mask.
Yeah, The Mask. That's what I was thinking.
But Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Pet
I remember.
Dolphin.
Dolphin came. The Miami Dolphin. I don't know. There was no link, but I was like,
you're just like, well, I've got to go with.
I got to go with someone that. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. A bit of
how do I unlock it to show the
the
camera for certainty? Because then your background was purple as well. So is this some juju stuff going on here?
Exactly.
So like for people who don't believe that, I went purple Hills, D12, Dolphin, Jim Carrey. That is
Jim Carrey.
That is...
All right, me and Sav live in your head rent free.
Why couldn't I go with the first colour?
Because you could have.
Yeah. You had it?
I just, I think it's a bit better when you get people to change. Because it, you know, if you went the first colour,
Yeah.
all the results would have been different.
Yeah.
But
Do it again with the first colour.
I almost...
Or can you not do it with the first colour?
You can, but it's...
Did you have Jim Carrey in my head or did you read that? How did you do that?
I've spent an hour before this with you. You think that was all a free choice?
No. No. You're doing what you did before. It's all it is, an illusion. You've guided me there, not based on downstairs. Because we didn't know we were doing this.
Time.
We didn't know.
101. No, I'm joking.
Fuck's sakes. That's so mad.
Yeah. But it's fun because, like, you know, a lot of people play with psychology in different ways.
Yeah.
We have taken it towards magic in quite a fun way, I think.
Yeah. That one's the worst, right? I tell you why. Because I watched it, I looked at you, and I was like, let me change this so that I don't get anywhere close to it.
And you'll be playing it back. You'll be able to see.
And I've done that. I've made it worse. I could have just done 1, 2, 3, 4 and left it as it was. Because that's what my initial plan was.
That's what you should have done. But you didn't. Because something made you feel like, oh, wait, nah, he wants me to do that. I'm going to do something different.
That is so crazy.
And that's what I wanted you to do.
I could have done anything.
It's free will, man. At least perceived free will. Yeah, if only I could apply this to get a pay rise now.
Can you do stuff at a casino?
No, not
allowed
really.
to?
It doesn't work like that.
Okay, fine.
Obviously, you can do card counting and stuff, but magic, because you don't handle anything,
Fine.
you can't really... Like, you can't influence a dealer to deal you like a blackjack.
Yeah.
Because it's a machine dealing cards. Like, it's
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yeah. Pet Detective.
That's so fucked.
I mean, great reference, by the way.
As in the dolphin to it was just... I couldn't think of anything purple.
I like the association you made.
I was about to go to octopus.
Yeah, then maybe it wouldn't have worked because you would have gone on different...
Yeah, initially I was like...
But maybe you still would have ended up with Jim Carrey.
I don't know how I would have gone from octopus to Jim Carrey.
Because still you're thinking animal, pet detective.
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Who would you have thought of?
If I went octopus, I think I probably would have gone for...
Such a random tangent.
Like... I'm thinking of, like, say, Ursula from...
Oh, Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. Interesting.
So you're lucky I didn't go there.
Wouldn't have worked. Would have been a really bad viewing. edit it all out. No magic tricks worked.
Anything else? Fuck on my head with? I love this shit, by the way.
I know. I'm so here for it. I
get so giddy around it. I feel, like I told you, like, hey, you're doing some stuff in here.
Can we... Have you got your phone on you?
No, it's over there.
Oh, right.
I can use my iPad.
Yeah. Has it got a camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try something with that. Yeah, let's...
Bloody hell. This is
let's
dodgy shit. We love the dodgy shit.
Can you... All right. Can you do me a favour? Mix these up. Make sure it's an all pack of cards, etc.
Okay. This is great stuff, by the way. Yeah. People on the audio listeners are going to be like, what the hell are you doing?
What is happening right
What's
now?
going on? You want to mix up?
Yeah, mix up.
Okay, you know what? You've already asked me to do it a certain... I can do it any way I want to, yeah?
Any way you want. And make sure the cards are different.
Can they all be facing the same way? But you never had
Go
that?
The other way, go for it.
I don't mind that. I might just give that a go. Fuck this right up. He's never had anyone ask him this stuff.
I actually have.
He's never had anyone ask him this
podcast,
stuff.
You got me sweating.
That's it. All right, cool, done.
Got me. All right, cool. Let me just take a picture of you before we start, so you can put the cards there, so I'm not like messing with them. Okay. Can you hold this up? And we're gonna take a picture of you. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, cool.
Is something on here that I'm unaware of?
Well, we're gonna take a picture of you. All right, fantastic. And do me a favor.
Yeah.
We'll take one more. Smile. Pretend like you want to be here. All right, cool. I'm gonna put that there so I don't mess with it.
Yeah.
And you can put the wallet on top as well. Yeah, that's great. So you've had a look, yeah. These are all normal cards that you've messed up and down.
Yeah, but yeah, purposely.
Do me a favor. To give me any number between 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Yeah.
Straight off what I've been thinking of this whole time, or whatever.
You can change it.
Okay, I'm going to change it now. 9.
Do you want to change?
No.
Okay. Do me a favor. Put your hand up.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it was a 9 as well.
It was a 9 of hearts.
That's
Ah!
We'll take the 9. I'm going to put it the other way for a certain reason. If we put it face down, the rest of the cards on top. All I got to do. That's it. Do me a favour. Open the wallet.
I try to fuck with you as well.
Open the wallet. There's nothing there, right?
No, there's nothing
right.
that apart from that.
Oh, fine. But what you didn't see is you were influenced to pick the 9. Yeah. Now I want you to I'm going to give you a free choice. Just take you can see up and down cards, but go for a down card, okay? Take any one. Okay. Which one do you want? Right then. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. All right, fantastic. Yeah. This, and we took a picture of you before we started this. Yeah. All right, we've got 7 of spades. Yeah. All right, 7 of spades. Oh, you left it open. Oh, actually, it might not go there then. We took that picture before we started. Can you just open your iPad and have a look? He hates it.
This is some juju stuff.
Honestly, audio listeners are gonna be like, "What is happening?" Hey guys, hop onto YouTube. Check it out.
7 of spades.
Zoom into it. Show the camera.
Yo!
And we haven't set this up. I swear.
And it's not in there.
There you go.
What is that? Why has it done that?
What do you mean?
You're crazy, mate. The 9 of hearts is actually mine. I'll tell you why, because I actually tried to fuck with you again. I was like,
it's crazy you went for 9 and it was the 9.
I was going to go with I had 9 of hearts in my head to begin with.
Yeah.
Because I think
you were thinking of 9 of hearts?
Because I saw on one of the cards, there was like a writing on it. I was like, I'm definitely not going for that. It was like a 2.
Oh, fine. I've used this deck for so many tricks, so maybe, yeah.
So I was like,
I'm not going to go for that one.
Nah. So I was like, 9 of hearts. And then when you said, do you want to change it? I was like, yeah, I was going to go for 8. Or like a 6.
We counted down 9 cards as well.
And yeah, but I was gonna reverse it back the other way. Crazy.
We're here for it.
Magic. I love magic. I love magic. As you can see of my reaction, yeah, and I can tell by your energy,
absolutely,
there's a passion for this.
I love it.
Why aren't you doing this full time?
Wow, that's you're asking the question the opposite of my mum. I think for me, magic is something I have cultivated to a point where I really love how much I do it. I love the flexibility it gives me. Right now, I can say yes and no to whatever gigs come in.
Yeah.
That's why I created the agency, to develop younger magicians that are coming along, spread the joy, really make sure other people are getting a fair shot. And it was initially my friend's brainchild, the agency concept, Edwin. And with not doing it full time, he's told me loads of times, Ed's been like, why do you not quit? Why don't you quit? Why don't you quit? And I think one is the stability, that Indian mindset of I want to be owning my own property. And rent is expensive, rent in London is crazy.
So let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're not good enough right now to be able to bring, you're talking about from an income perspective, do you feel like you're not good enough right now to bring that all into fruition?
I think, after COVID, there was 2 years I didn't perform. So I've only really been performing professionally again for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think my brand right now isn't where I want it to be.
No, but that's part of the process. You weren't the magician you are right now.
Absolutely.
Like you said, you've done it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
I think I don't have the clients I want right this second.
It's the same concept.
What you think?
This is your first podcast.
Yeah, it's true.
Do 1,000 more and see where you could be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will. But right now, I'm somehow managing to do everything.
I know. But my question was, why haven't you gone full time yet? And part of me thinks there's part of you right now which doesn't believe in yourself in regards to what's truly possible if you were able to go full time into it. Don't get me wrong.
I've crunched the numbers. It's very realistic to go full time.
Of course.
It's not going to take...
But there's the fear in regards to what happens if it doesn't happen.
I am very comfortable about the second half of the year. It's when it's quiet. Jan, Feb is just terrible for the entertainment industry, right?
But you say that.
Yeah.
Be the one that breaks that mold.
Absolutely, and that's the plan. So I want to go full time in the next 2 years. But I'm building towards that. The agency.
I'm not disputing that. It's a question I throw to every entrepreneur or business person that comes into this room. I'm like, why haven't you gone full time yet? It was something that I used to ask People used to ask me, my coach used to ask me this, and I was
And what
like,
was your answer? Like, what changed?
the stability of a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
knowing that I could coach on the side, meant that I could do what I loved.
Yeah.
And then, like, didn't have to worry. I could still live a lifestyle I wanted to live. And I placed the false narrative that someone will take this away from me if I go full time into it. Like, if it doesn't kick off, if I'm unable to sign clients,
Yeah.
what happens then? Do I need to go back into finance?
Right.
And when I took that risk last year to give this my all time, like give it a go,
Yeah.
the mindset was, it changed when you realize that you've kind of got no other option to make it work.
Your grind.
And don't get me wrong, I have the luxury of like how like bills I pay, etc. and stuff. However, I know if I put myself in more uncomfortable scenarios, the grind only gets heightened even more.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much more about the concept of a business by doing this for nearly a year now.
Yeah.
Only like just doing this versus trying to balance running a podcast, having a couple of clients I worked with, and having a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like, I've learned the true value of time and how long it takes to get something over the line.
Yeah.
Putting something together like a PDF that I'm gonna just give away for free. It takes time to come up with the idea, put it all together, transition it into a website, create a link, and you see other people doing it. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
if this is gonna be what they call like a lead magnet or something that people then gravitate towards, you've got to do the work first to get there.
Absolutely.
And I feel like with what you're doing right now, you could possibly be doing so much more within the magic space. Part of me feels, this is maybe me being a magician towards you now,
Of course.
I feel
Read my mind.
there's an element of disbelief, and there's also an element where you love doing it as a hobby and as fun.
Yeah.
But part of you doesn't know if you want to do it full time.
I think you might be right, and something that I have the luxury of that you might not have had and other entrepreneurs don't have is my business partner does do it full time.
Yeah.
And so, he's very time rich during the day. So I've never felt guilty. We've been working together for just under a year, and I've never felt guilty to be like, Ed, hey, I need you to jump on this proposal. Can you send out this invoice? And you know what? It sounds like I'm using Ed as like a glorified PA, but like I bring other things to the partnership, and having that, I wouldn't say it's a crutch. Having that partnership with Ed has given me so much more freedom, and the stuff where I built out a proposal that we're going to send to a major festival this year. He had a look at it with fresh eyes the next morning. I have zero patience. She's like, dude, hold out. Give me 12 hours. I'll look it up. I'll look at it, and then we'll send it off tomorrow. Don't rush it. And I'm not that person. So I was like, okay, yeah, cool. You know what? I'll leave it to you. You check it out. Draft the email. Send it out. Is that right? Next morning, he just sends me the PDF back, which is like a massive red circle around a glaring spelling mistake. I spelled the festival right the whole way through the document, apart from one bit, and he's like, this doesn't look good. If we send that out to a client, they're going to take one look and we're like, nah, what are you doing? These guys aren't serious.
Yeah.
Like you say, if I was in this on my own, I would have all those hurdles, whereas I have someone I can lean on.
Yeah.
And it's what's the word? It's a gift. Like I really appreciate a lot of like having that business partner. Yeah, I do think you're right. There is a part of it where I can do it as much as I want to or as little as I want to, and I don't have that pressure. Maybe I need to switch that up.
No, it's just food for thought. Like I think there's a number of people who generally have an idea and they really want to do something with it, and we're all quite like money orientated. We all want a second stream of income, and with the world we live in, like who wouldn't want that? If you've got a skill, utilize on it and see if you can double down and make some substantial pay from it. However, I do feel like your mindset is purely what the gigs provide, what nannying provides, what work provides. And you haven't been able to sit on another complete table right now where what they're talking about is how do we get other people doing this?
Yeah.
It's the same conversation, but like if you gave yourself time, you probably could be possibly working with every artist that tours.
That's the goal.
But did you see what I mean? Or every like Grosvenor House, for instance, that's your residency.
Yeah.
For every corporate gig that comes up, you're always there. AK Magic, that's the first thing they're thinking of.
Yeah.
But to do that, to get there, you need to have done enough work behind the scenes. That we talked about, like Uncle Pre.
Yeah.
Right? And I said that's just like stayed with me now.
Yeah.
And like the Unfiltered brand, which is I'm trying to bring into it, it's going to take more repetition and keep putting out the podcast, getting more episodes in, speaking to other different kind of people, so you get the older generation and the younger generation all gravitate.
Getting that brand built out there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because another thing you talked about with your lifestyle
Yeah.
was how busy you are. Like you'll be doing a 9 to 5, and then you'll work stupid hours until the evening as a magician.
Yeah.
Then you got your nannying as and when, and then with your close clients, you will step in as and where you have to.
Of course.
You don't really have a chance to like rest and take a break, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why for the first time I have realised I've got so much on. Nannying will probably have to take a backseat in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Right now, I have cut down quite a lot in terms of clients. Prioritizing myself, I think, has been difficult, doing everything. But at the same time, I love being busy. I love doing all these things.
Yeah.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I listened to an episode with Mr. Beast and Stephen Bartlett.
Okay.
And he talked about like no one wants to do what I'm doing.
Mm.
No one wants to be on my head when it comes to thinking of the next YouTube video, etc.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like relate it to you right now in regards to like your energy to do this. I just get this weird feeling like it's an escape.
What do you mean?
From possibly just sitting with whatever is that's going on in life right now. Yeah.
I genuinely would say I just enjoy being busy. Like, I get my energy from other people.
Yeah.
I get my energy from being outside. When I'm inside, I tend to get bored. I tend to
Why is that?
binge. I don't know. It's my personality, I think. I think I have that, having been in therapy for over 4 years, something that's come out is I have quite a twitchy personality. It's we were talking about before, high performing anxiety. And that essentially means that I am always thinking about the next thing. I'm thinking about how can I add value. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing enough. Like, even now, I'm like, what else can I be doing? Like, I'm sleeping 7 hours. I can sleep 5 hours. What can I do in those 2 hours? And like, don't get me wrong. There are times I just binge like 7 seasons of a show.
No, it's not a bad trait. Part of me generally feels based on, and like you've obviously done what you've done here with your juju stuff. I can read body language, and I can feel sometimes like there's a level of uncomfortability possibly tapping into this a little bit more.
Yeah.
In regards to, like you said, like you get bored, you don't like just sitting. Maybe it's because of the thoughts that come around or the feelings that come around. You don't like being with them.
I do think, when you are sitting alone, what do you think about? I mean, I go to thinking about, it would be nice to have a partner to have dinner with, or it would be nice to, why am I not back home with my family? Like, obviously, logistically, I can't just be driving up and down to Kent every day. I do think those thoughts do sometimes tend to creep in. But on the whole, when I'm alone, I'm not productive. Like, I will be just binging Netflix, and I'm like, then at the end of those 3 hours, I'll be like, well, I haven't achieved anything.
But that's it, though, right?
Yeah.
It's the fact this is what I do.
Yeah.
What you've just said right there is I've just binged. I'm not done anything. I'm not achieved anything. I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
No, you're allowed to reset and recharge.
Of course. Yeah, but that's not recharging for me. Recharging is when
that's the terminology you've got up here right now, which tells you that. And you're not alone.
Yeah.
There are so many individuals that I speak to who feel like they have to do something, and it's a bad thing if they sit and watch TV. It's a bad thing if they are not productive. It's a bad thing if they give themselves some me time.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate sometimes your me time is work because you love that, and that's great. But work's work.
Yeah.
And what AK wants to do behind the scenes is okay.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned there, like, you'd be nice to have a partner.
Yeah.
But maybe you don't give yourself a chance to facilitate that. See, it's getting deep now, isn't it?
We're getting in here. I was like, whoa.
No, we won't get too deep with it. Obviously, we want to keep it respectful, and also I don't want to like jump into that kind of stuff. But mad, man. Yeah. Interesting. We've gone in and out of like of dating, so I'm gonna like just not take it towards there. You mentioned like you've been doing therapy for 4 years.
Yeah.
What's been your experience navigating your mental health, and what do you think more men need to hear? The reason why I'm asking that, with this talk that I did,
Yeah.
I say to everyone that I work with women,
Yeah.
right? And I've had this calling of people that said you should try and do some more things with men.
Sure.
You've got a great connection with them. I was like, and we came up with the idea to do this men's speaking event.
Yeah.
Unreal.
I'll totally echo that. Like you have a way with people that
Yeah.
I can't quite explain or put into words. You're very easy to open up to. I think because you're that person as well. Like you don't hide behind a wall. And again, in our community, it's almost like if I talk about my feelings, like, or I'm lesser than, or I'm weaker, or and I disagree with that. I think
Yeah.
it's a strong trait to be able to put your feelings out there and put your struggles out there.
So what do you think more men need to hear?
It's okay to talk. Like I think the main thing I would say is, even if it's picking up the phone to your friend and be like, hey, let's go for a pint, being able to open up about something that you might be going through that you're not totally comfortable with, whoever that safe person is for you, open up to them, even if it is for 5 minutes.
This was an element of the controversy that came up in my head whilst I did this talk, because part of the segment we did was like alcoholism.
Yeah,
And we talked about that sometimes going to the pub is a great place for people just to have a few drinks and let it all out.
of course.
And the flip side of that is that if you're then relying on a drink
Yeah,
to then allow you to feel comfortable to speak up, are you then telling me that whenever things go, that we have to have alcohol for you to regurgitate all of these feelings that you're going through, right? So there's that.
it's a fine line.
Yeah, because you kind of want to make sure that people can say what they want to say without having to feel like that. But I respect that, man. I respect
But
that.
even if it is going for a drive, like to McDonald's,
Yeah.
like whatever that safe space is for you, it doesn't have to be the pub or a bar.
Yeah, I know. You want to create like healthy places, but
Exactly.
it's anything can do. Like picking up the phone isn't
Yeah.
a difficult thing, but yet it's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's as heavy as the bloody illusion you gave me
The
earlier.
metal phone.
What do you do when you hit those low moments?
I find going for a run, it really helps me recharge.
Yeah.
Just being outdoors, because my 9 to 5 is in an office. A lot of the time I work from home. Being within the same four walls or being inside, I find like stifles me creatively, physically. So going for a run is massive for me. Also taking those me moments. I do binge sometimes, and
Feel bad for it.
I crank out work during it as well. But having those times where I'm just like, I'm going to put it on The Office or Parks and Rec and just chill helps me when I'm feeling this is very rare. When I feel like my social battery needs a recharge, I sometimes I'm just not going to talk to anyone for a day. I'm just going to have a day for me.
Yeah.
Take myself to the gallery, read a book, go to the pub. I go to the pub, have a drink, and people watch. Now, people might think that's alcoholism. I find it so refreshing, not being drunk, not being waved, and just watching people at a pub. It's hilarious. You should try it sometime.
You just go by yourself?
Sometimes, yeah.
Crazy.
Me and a book.
Fair.
Yeah.
I do it on the train. Just watch.
Oh, people are wild. In London, people are so interesting.
Fair. You talked about obviously what more men need to hear, that it's okay to speak up.
Yeah.
Just want to circle it right back into the one question I had around dating. Do you think modern dating has made it more harder for men to be emotionally open?
I think there was a period a few years ago where women wanted. Sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to repeat the question.
Do you think modern dating has made it harder for men to be emotionally open?
I think dating right now,
it
is difficult because women, from my experience, want a manly man. They want a man that is letting them be in their feminine energy, or they want someone that provides.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they want to be able to have their life, their job. I'm like, well, you can't have both. You can't have the feminist argument, in my opinion, and want someone that's going to make you feel like a kept woman.
Yeah.
My stance on dating has always been, we're a team, we're a unit together. Sometimes you bring in 10, I bring in 90. Sometimes I bring in 10 and you bring in 90. But at the end of the day, we're both putting everything in. I'll organize a date night. I don't mind paying, but I'm not going to pay all the time. Because then I feel like, are you just here because I take you out?
Yeah.
Like, what else are we bringing to the table?
Yeah.
And like, if that's what you're providing, then you should be okay with when a guy wants you to be in the kitchen and make a meal. And I'm not comfortable with that. Like, for me, dating is a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
And I do think more men should open up a bit more when they do date, because then it gets to this point where they've been dating for 6 months or a year. And the woman's like, yeah, he's great. He takes me out on all these lovely dinners and holidays. And like, oh, what do you have to do for that? All that? Like, nothing. And then it gets to a point where the guy just feels like getting taken advantage of. It's like, what am I getting here that I wouldn't get elsewhere? I think, fine, there is a small argument for companionship, but it's a tricky conversation. I think, be yourself, and if someone is there to stay and be with you for that, that's the person you want.
Yeah.
Might not be for everyone, but that's what I think.
Fair.
Yeah. Got kind of deep again.
No, it's good. It's good enough. Fair play.
How about yourself? When you date, do you tend to open up?
Yeah, I'm as open as I can be.
Yeah.
There are certain areas I might not like tap into because it might be unnecessary.
Fine.
But I get very much off the cuff, get straight into it, and I try and encourage it. Normally works out. It's a nice place to be in because it encourages a different type of conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Like I do feel like men should be a bit more open. I've spoken about it on the pod where I feel like women should allow men to get open.
Yeah,
and you'll see a big difference.
Space, yeah.
But I do think that it is a joint effort on that front. I agree with you in terms of men want certain things. They can't expect a woman to do X, Y, Z if they're in a certain space.
Yeah.
Likewise, you from the woman's perspective, women want certain things. It's interesting.
How would you, I don't know if you've covered this topic in your podcast before, and, sorry if you have. How do you find the whole initial dating stages, first, second, third dates? Who should pay? What do you do? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think it's kind of like, because I've spoken about it with a bunch of women that have come on. I've had girls take me out and pay for me, and I'm like,
fair, yeah.
And I've had them take my card away from me.
Wow.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Bro, don't embarrass me like that. Yo, just give me my card and let me just pay for it. No.
Why is that embarrassing?
In my head, though, this was like years ago, right? And like,
okay, cool.
And then I got comfortable, and it's more of a case of, they're like, no, who said the rules that you had to pay for everything? I was like, I like this.
Hey.
It's uncomfortable, but I'm going to sit with it.
She's got this one, you get the next one.
That's how it should work.
Yeah.
But I truly value that. And then there are times where I've been on dates where it's like, okay, cool, I'll just get the first round and it's cool. And then no other drinks are brought in until I get up again.
Like,
and I'm just in my head thinking, I'm going to do this, but don't think I'm going to do it again.
Exactly.
Don't think I'm going to be taking you out again because this isn't worth my time. Like, it's meant to be a tick for tack. And if that's not you, totally fine.
I think initially, like the first date especially, it's the most polite anyone's ever going to be. And if that's the energy they're bringing, like, what's down the line?
No, and don't get me wrong. Like, some people have had and I've had conversations where they've been brought up a certain way, so they feel like this is how women should be treated. I'm all cool for it.
It's fine. Yeah.
My only caveat towards that is, I said it to someone. I was like, if you're telling me right now I have to pay to then take you out to be in your company, you just ain't worth it for me.
Exactly.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
Like, respectfully, you're beautiful, a lovely person. But I shouldn't have to pay to have you in my company.
Exactly. See, this is what I mean. Like,
and it's that controversy, right? Because it's like, I'm out here grinding to be able to do all of these wonderful things and want to do all these wonderful things with you.
Of course.
Where did we come up with the illusion right now that it's all me? Yeah. Like, nah, it's not always going to be like that. I'm like, yeah, I know, but you've not really painted a picture. You've basically made it seem like I have to do this, and I don't have to do anything. I want to do this. I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
Don't think that nah, that shit ain't working.
For me, the mindset I always go with is, if it is a balance, like for me, a first date is nothing more than getting to know each other.
Yeah.
We've both committed to go and see if there's a vibe, and we'll both get rounds in or whatever. If it's a walk, fine, I'll pay for the coffee. Who cares?
Yeah.
The next day, if I ask you out, I'll pay. If you ask me out, you pay. And then after that, and we still want to keep seeing each other, we just take it in turns.
Goes hand in hand. There's an element of like trauma involved where I've spoken to a bunch of women, especially one of my clients, where they've done a lot of the paying in the past, and guys haven't reciprocated.
Wow, that's the first time I've heard that.
So I do get it from other angles, and I'm very like, I will look at the bigger picture and I'll see things, and I can appreciate some people might have financial insecurity. So, but my honest view is kind of similar to you. Like, it doesn't matter like who pays for the first, second, third. That's irrelevant. It's more of the energy involved.
Yeah.
So like, you might not earn a lot. That doesn't mean that you can't not go out with me. But maybe we then change the expectation of what the date's gonna look like, and we make it like fine and relevant. Like, if someone says to me, "Yo, I want you to take me out to Hakkasan," and cool, yeah, we can go. Yeah, I don't like Hakkasan. I'm not going to be going Hakkasan all the time. So if that's your vibe, probably not going to work out.
I had now, you know, we're both around the same age, getting to this age where like I'm having my family like send rishtas,
Oh,
bro. And you know, I had one where they set me up, and the girl seemed nice enough. She was in London. I was like, okay, hey, do you think it would just be easier with me? Like initially, it's easier to meet up. Like, I don't want a pen pal, right? Don't have time to be back and forth. Should we just meet up and go for a drink? She's like, yeah, this is a really nice restaurant. Let's go there. It's called like Marlowe. I'm like, okay, cool. Never been there. Go there. Like, fancy place. All right, whatever. Don't care. I'm like, I have not been here before. Feel free to order for both of us. Like, I'm quite happy sharing. Or if you want, you can order what you want and I'll order what I want. And she's like, oh no, I'll just get a few plates and then we can, you know, pick. And so she does, and the bill comes. I'm just like, oh, fine. Like, I assume we're split. And she's like, I'm just going to use the ladies' room. I'm like, what? Especially when like the conversation wasn't really flowing. And like, maybe that's what she was thinking. Like, she was like, oh, I'm not really going to see this guy again. I'll just get him to pay. But I'm like, that's so rude. Like, you chose the place. You chose what we ate. The least you can do is offer. Yeah. Like, you know, because my family did set me up, I would have probably paid anyway. Yeah. Because...
You split that then, right?
No, I paid. Ah, awkward, bro. She left and she went to the toilet.
I would have been like, yeah, me too. I need to go as well.
They would have think
it's an awkward thing though, right? Because it's like, what do you do in that scenario? As a guy, are you now not man enough to not be able to pay for the bill?
Exactly.
And then the flip side of it is that if you're like, well, we're splitting this, right? I didn't agree to like all of this stuff, like, but respectfully, like, I thought this was... You then look like not a man either, because it's like you're cheap or broke, and it's like, no. I got money, but
exactly,
I didn't have money for this.
This is what I'm sending on. Yeah,
it's a weird one, but it's a good topic to carry on going into for sure. We're gonna have to wrap it up though, bro.
Absolutely, no. It's great being on here.
No, it's amazing. Let the camera know where everyone can find you. And I'm gonna ask you one more thing after this, though.
Cool. So I'm AK. You can find me on Instagram, akmagic52. If you want a magician, head on to maverickmagicians.com. And we also host an event called Magic House Party. It's an immersive experience. We're trying to make magic cool for the younger audience. Tickets are only 15 quid. You come in 5 hours. It's a massive party, DJs, bubble artists, and 10 hidden magicians. You don't know who's a magician. Come and check it out.
I'm going to check it out. Right, why don't you say that to me directly, bro? Why you think the fucking camera, bro? I'll come to that. Nah, gang, love, bro. Really, really appreciate it. You fucked on my head massively. Everyone who listened to this, just watch the visuals, or just definitely go into like the short form clips, because I'll be putting the reactions there as well. But love, bro. Really appreciate it. Nah, smashed it.
Thank you.
Okay. Do that Rubik's Cube shit again. Can you do it again?
I love that you've gone back there.
Can you do it again? Thank you a lot for listening to another episode of the Unfiltered podcast. If you've liked what you listened to today, drop us a like. If you've got any comments in regards to what we spoke about, if there's something you disagreed with, or there's stuff that you did agree with, drop us a comment. And lastly, if you haven't subscribed yet, give us a subscribe. Whether you listen to this on Spotify, Apple, or if you're watching this on YouTube, every subscribe goes a long way. And look, why wouldn't you subscribe? If you like the unfiltered nature of the podcast, surely you want to be in tune to whenever the next episode is coming out, right? Anywho, I'll catch you on the next episode of the Unfiltered podcast. It's been your boy Pri, and I'm signing out. Peace.